All right, Ms. President, you have some recommendations coming to closed.
That council moves into open session at 4:08 p.m.
May your mover please, Councilor Bailey, Councilor Spoulos, all in favor? It's carried. Next.
That council receives the following reports for information. Education and training regarding the Planning Act, a confidential report regarding a position plan procedure criteria instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on or upon behalf of municipality or local board, and that's in relation to potential acquisition. A confidential report regarding the security of the property of the municipality or the local board, that's in relation to municipal road. A confidential report regarding litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. That's in relation or in accordance with section 314C of the township's valid complaint policy. Items 14.5 and 14.6 being confidential reports regarding litigation or potential litigation, including matters before.
Pause you. I probably shouldn't do 14.6.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
It's just to receive
So we're fine.
your.
Never mind. Carry on.
Litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board, in relation to potential LSE matters, confidential minutes from the previous closed meeting, May 26 closed meeting minutes, and then a confidential report regarding litigation and potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board, and that's in relation to a potential LSE matter, and that's not to see district.
Yeah, mover please, Councilor Bailey, Councilor Spoulos. Any questions, comments? All in favor? It's carried. I believe that brings us to our CIP improvement plan. Floor is yours. Who's your present?
Mary.
Mary, oh, I apologize. There's Mary.
Hello, council. So this is just our final report regarding the CIP in accordance with the Planning Act. Also, some bylaws, a couple of bylaws to be adopted by council. One being adopting the community improvement project area for the corporation of the township as a whole, and also to adopt the supporting local business in Puss Lynch and a township-wide community improvement plan for the township. The report does speak to the significant public engagement that occurred and the process that has been undertaken to today's date related to these new CIP and some of the financial implications, including which programs staff recommend we prioritize for 2026, and also future programs through future budget years. I'd be happy to answer any of council's questions, and our consultant, Sean Kelly's here as well if there's more technical questions regarding the process.
Great. You want the recommendation, Ms. Brotherstone?
That report FIN 2026-017 entitled Supporting Local Business in Puss Lynch and a Township-wide Community Improvement Plan be received, and that council give 3 readings to bylaw number 2026-042, being a bylaw to adopt the community improvement project area for the corporation of the township of Puss Lynch, and the council gives 3 readings to bylaw number 2026-043, being a bylaw to adopt the supporting local business in Puss Lynch, township-wide community improvement plan for the corporation of township of Puss Lynch, and the council approved the upset limit and funding strategy for the 2026 CIP grant program in accordance with the financial information section of the report.
All right, move fund, please. Councilor Gordon, Councilor Spoulos, any questions?
I just have one quick question.
Sure.
First of all, thank you for the change in the title. I really like it. I think it really helps clarify what it's all about. But I just had a question about the implementation of it. So when the bylaw is approved, hopefully today, then this will launch. When will this launch? I'm not sure
So
if I'm asking.
sorry, I can speak to it, and then Sean, if you have anything else to add. So there is a 20-day appeal period, and so we will be passing the notice similar to other planning applications that we have in the Wellington Advertiser and our website, and with the goal to hopefully implement by, I believe, July 16th is the date that'll be noted on the notice of passage, and that gives us our 20-day appeal period accounted for.
And then the initiatives that have been chosen, which I think are great, those will go for a full 12-month period, or those will go till the next budget cycle, or when will those initiatives be reviewed to keep in place or change?
Yeah, so it will be reviewed annually as part of the operating budget process, and so we will advise what initiatives we want to add or uh, that we propose to add or remove based on inquiries received. So we will report on that in November. Hopefully, that'll give us a few months to with some data and some inquiries and provide council with our recommendation for 2027. So it'll be annually through the budget process.
Okay, perfect, thanks.
Suppose.
Yes, the information provided us, notes indicated there's about $13,500 worth of interest. And you've got some other inquiries, as well, and they're not specified what they were interested in. Is that, still stands?
Yes, just based on our review of some of the inquiries that we've received in 2026, we're aware of three related to the signage, facade, and landscape improvement grant. And in the CIP, the maximum for that grant is 4,500. So it's approximately 13,500. But we do have other inquiries that we've received where they haven't stated which specific grants they were interested in.
My reason for asking this is, I think this is a very good program to revitalize our community. And if there's any interest over and above our budget amount, I'd like to suggest that we bring it to council's attention, because we may want to say, we're gonna support you, we'll find the money someplace to go forward.
Right, so through the chair, just that council direct staff to report on any interest above the funding upset limit for consideration.
Sure.
Yeah.
For consideration in this budget year, yes.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, go ahead, Councilor.
thanks, Mary. Just a question, what? I'm hearing that, recommendations for future, grant programming will kind of come from, interests that, residents bring forward or inquire about, but what other driving factors are there for what programs we're trying to establish in the future?
Yeah, sorry, I should have also added it'll be also like council directives in terms of what's on council's radar as well. So I'd work collaboratively with our CAO just to ensure that what's being recommended is in accordance with our current strategic priorities.
I presume there's a lot of input from economic development then at the county? Or are they helping drive some of the
So
the need?
through the chair, I do know that there is this sort of reciprocal relationship with the county active team, where if they are become aware of an investment in the township or potential investment, and likewise on our end, we are connecting applicants in that way.
Okay, because my follow-up was just how are we encouraging participation in the program? So I didn't know what avenues that was coming from.
On the mayor's breakfast, is there any social media push?
Yeah, so through the chair, we also have a listing of anyone that's included on our business directory as well. We also make sure when we have pre-consultations, anyone that signs up for a planning pre-consultation, where they may be looking at new investment into the township, we try to push a lot of this information to them as well, just so that they're aware of what can be offered.
Great, because I think it's, like Councilor Sepula said, I think it's a fantastic program and we want to see uptake on it. So Thanks.
No comments. I had moved a second, Rick. All in favor? It's carried. Great. Sorry to make you wait. Glad to see it come to fruition. Thank you for all the work on the file. Thank you so much. Right, now I believe we're on the consent agenda. Let's see, you want to read out the English, please?
The consent agenda items listed for the June 17th, 2026 council meeting received for information.
You mover for that, please? Councilor Spillis, Councilor Goya, and items to be removed. Councilor Goya.
6.10.
Yeah, Councilor Spillis.
6.1.1,
Yeah.
6.13, and 6.15.
Councillor Bailey,
616,
660.
6.16, 16.
We're gonna receive the balance of those, all in favor, it's carried. Let's go to 6.10.
6.10 is from the County of Prince Edward, and they are talking about, just insurance rates for properties that have been designated under their heritage. Under their heritage. Insurance rates for properties that have been designated as heritage properties, and they are finding that, insurance companies are elevating, premiums and rates for that. And I would think that would be a considerable hindrance to heritage designation. We've heard that same feedback from some of our delegations that we've had regarding heritage designations. So I would just simply like to support that resolution.
Okay, so let's move for a second. Councillor Bailey, any questions or comments? All in favor? It's carried. 6.11, Councillor Lewis.
Yes, this relates to resolution 2026-177. It's to do with the Watson Road speed bump, and it's I'd like a question of staff with respect to the speed bump. Is the intention to put that speed bump back?
So through the chair, staff would make the recommendation that prior to, the speed bump being reinstalled, that we do install, heavy truck camera enforcement. We did hear some feedback from residents in the area that, part of the issue is, illegal truck traffic in that area. So staff would recommend that prior to that taking place, that we do work through the installation of the camera system for enforcement.
Do you need any funding to do that?
So through the chair, the funding strategy would be the same as it was for our two other sets of cameras. So it would be funded through one of our reserves, either asset management or gravel roads, with that repayment strategy from any penalties that were collected.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that we provide funding to staff to provide the necessary signage and cameras to implement the I don't know what terminology is, the monitoring of the illegal truck movements on Watson Road, south of Parkland.
Yeah, do we just need to authorize them to utilize the same funding strategy that we utilize for the other cameras versus?
Sure, I'll accept that as a funding.
So let's move by Councillor Spillis. Councillor Bailey. Comments? I would like to see the township through their communication channels inform the public, especially with these ones going to the Watson Road and all the feedback we've been receiving about that area. That the program we built is complaint driven. And then we require those complaints once the cameras are in and they see literally the heavy trucks on the road, we require it because then we can access the cameras and issue the citations. And that's similar, so the staff able to do that, start doing some, secondly, we're having a lot of communication about that area and improvements. I'd like to see some communication from staff on the process for that. We went through a very rigorous public engagement. We developed a roads master plan, correct? Embedded in that is a process for. That's how this speed bump came to be, is my understanding. And so if we, I don't want to get into ad hoc, adding items when we have already a built-in process through the roads master action plans.
So through the chair, I do know that we have a dedicated page on our website to this, but we can certainly put out some public engagement communications, just highlighting the proper process for having those comments, complaints, requests recorded. Again, it is important to follow the process so that we can record them in our tracking tool, which is part of our roads management plan. And that is the tool and the mechanism for how we bring those inquiries, complaints, etc., forward to council during the budget process.
Do you want to speak relatively briefly on how the speed bump came to fruition in our goal that we engaged the public, right?
Yes, so through the chair, it was through the roads management plan process, so receiving complaints. It was a combination of complaints, delegations, requests for speed mitigation in the area, and we were able to work through so the RMP does have a section that's specifically designated to speed mitigation and how we arrive at a recommendation. And a lot of that is based on, complaint driven and that sort of thing. But then we also have this sort of pathway through the RMP to make that recommendation, which ultimately comes at budget time, so council can budget accordingly.
Perfect. Council's, just the notification component of the new program for the heavy truck enforcement, so. That's good. And are you clear on the recommendation for the funding of the new cameras and whatnot? No. Okay. We have a second. Let's suppose move it, Councilor Bailey, any last comments? All in favor? It's carried, is that too fast? Let's suppose 6.13.
This is the town of Clinton, Wyoming support resolution for sustainable provincial grant funding for fire service in Ontario. I think it's first, I believe it's acting fire chief was commented in the questions and answers that it's something that we should support. And I'd like to move that we support this resolution put forward by Clinton, Wyoming.
Okay, moved by Councilor Lewis, second by Councilor Bailey. Any questions or comments?
No, I had that as well, so.
Okay. All right, all in favor? That's carried. 6:15.
6:15 again is to deal with the support the firefighter certification requirements. I don't know if we have a problem with funding for certification requirements, but certainly whoever provided the answers, there is need for some flexibility for smaller departments, and we are obviously a small department, and I would like us to support the Iroquois Falls resolution to request support for Ontario firefighting certification requirements.
And this moved by Councilor Lewis. Councilor Goya, questions or comments? All in favor? It's carried. And 6:16, I believe, is Councilor Bailey.
Yep, this is, I just like council to support Town of Halton Hills. Essentially, the resolution is calling on the province to modernize its rules governing invasive plants, including restricting or prohibiting the sale and distribution of species known to cause ecological harm. Halton Hills notes that invasive plants are damaging natural ecosystems, reducing biodiversity, and creating significant maintenance costs to manage invasive species such as Phragmites, and I know we've talked about that before. And the argument is that prevention is far less expensive than trying to control or eradicate certain efforts.
Okay, so moved by you. Councilor Lewis, questions or comments? Favor? It's carried. That brings us to the end of consents. Yep. About delegations, over there now? Not delegation, let's read the public meetings. 8.1, yeah. Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're at public meetings and I'm to public meeting.
Okay.
I'm like in the one.
Sounds upset. Public meeting, June 17th, 2026, 7 p.m. Public information meeting held in person at the Pulsich Community Center, 23 Brock Road South, and by electronic participation through Zoom regarding zoning bylaw amendment D14 COL 6683 Ellis Road. June 17th, 2026 at 8 p.m. Public information meeting held in person at the Pulsich Community Center, 23 Brock Road South, and by electronic participation through Zoom regarding zoning bylaw amendment D14 COL 2781-2809 Teal Mine Road. June 18th, 2026, 7 p.m. Interesting, the third one's earlier time than the second one. Public information meeting held in person in the Pulsich Community Center, 23 Brock Road South, by electronic participation through Zoom regarding zoning bylaw amendment application D14 CBM 6947 concession 2. Right. What's Daniel here for?
Daniel's presenting 922.
Okay, you want to do that next? Come on up, Daniel. Sure. Councilor Dale? She's gone? Oh. She's going to the washroom. Okay, gone. It's not your fault. Carry on.
Take it personally. Thanks.
Right.
All right, thank you through the chair. This is the annual treasurer's investment report for 2025 calendar year. The purpose of this report is to provide council with a confirmation that all cash and temporary investments held by the township of Portslade was invested in accordance with municipal legislation. Further, that all investment transactions undertaken in 2025 complied with the township's investment policy and the objectives adopted by council. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys may have regarding the reports.
Daniel, Spencer, you want to read the recommendation?
That report FIN 2026-0018 entitled Treasurer's Investment Report for 2025 be received for information, and the council accepts the treasurer's statement that based on the information supplied by Canaccord Genuity Wealth Management, the cash and temporary investments held by the township of Portslade during the calendar year 2025 were all prescribed in accordance with section 418 of Municipal Act 2001 and were all eligible as outlined in Ontario Regulation 43897, and that all related transactions in 2025 comply with the investment policies and goals adopted by the township on August 13th, 2014, and that no changes be made to the policy at this time, and that council directs staff to review the feasibility of incorporating principal protected notes, PPNs, into the township's investment portfolio, and report back to council in 2026 or early 2027 with recommendations, including any proposed amendments to the township's investment policy.
Hey, can we move, please? Councilor Spills, Councilor Gordon, I don't have a lot of options. All right, questions?
No, okay.
I'm good, thank you.
No, I'll just comment, the county just approved, well, tentatively approved, it was at NHR. Change to their investment policy, and they're changing their cap to 75% for PPNs. I believe it was amended to 40% at one single source. The returns on the PPNs are performing quite well, so I look forward to seeing, staff's interpretation of that, and, that a lot could change in a year or so, but, it's a investment we can roll it better on our money, so I'm good, all in favor? It's carried, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
921. We did that?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's why I was confused. 923. So, Mrs. Hand, is she still here?
Through you, Chair. So this again is an annual reporting requirement that's required in accordance with the Development Charges Act and the Planning Act. It's our annual financial statement on development charges and cash in lieu of parkland. I'd be happy to answer any of council's questions on this report.
Bryce, do you want to read the recommendation, please?
That report FIN 2026-019 entitled 2025 Development Charges and Cash in lieu of Parkland be received for information.
Councilor Goody, Councilor Close. We're just going to alternate back and forth, so move her to second. Any questions for Mrs. Hand? All in favor? That's carried. Thanks. Oh, just right. Hey. Clients audit committee.
So the administrative purpose of this report is to seek direction from council to establish a joint audit compliance committee for the Wellington County municipalities and appoint members to that committee. The audit committee is appointed under the Municipal Elections Act to review requests for compliance audits of election campaign finances. The committee assesses whether audits are warranted, considers audit findings, and determines whether legal action should be initiated, helping to ensure accountability, transparency, and public confidence in the municipal election process. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, we move Councilor Close, Councilor Correa. Any questions?
No.
No, it's straightforward. Yeah, this one went through HR as well this week. Very cool favor, very. Sneeze 942. Want to join us?
She's online or
She is online.
Good afternoon, Council.
Good afternoon.
Through you, Chair, the purpose of this report is to seek Council's direction to deem the zoning bylaw amendment application for the property municipally known as 4539 Victoria Road South complete. This is a procedural step which allows township staff and consultants to begin their technical review of the application. Thank you, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
And the recommendation is included in your report. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councilor Lewis, Councilor Goida. Any questions on that? Favor? Carried. Monica?
Thank you.
So are we on to correspondence?
Go on 10-2 because we did that Highway 6 for one for sorry.
All right, can I get a mover to seconder to receive this for information, please? This is correspondence, right? 10.2. Ms. Spoulos? Goida? Any questions or comments on that? All in favor? It's carried. Same for 10.3. We're second to receive that one. You're just gonna all say back and forth.
Councilor Gordon. Councilor Lewis for this one.
Sure. All right, any questions or comments on that ERO posting? No, all in favor? Carried. 10.4, get a mover and seconder again. I suppose Councilor Goida, or vice versa, whichever way you have it recorded. Did you want to speak to this? I think you've done some follow-up inquiry with the MNR on this one.
Yes, so through the chair, this is an example of a amendment to an Aggregate Resources Act site plan where there was no consultation with the municipality, and this is by way of the ministry deeming these types of amendments minor in nature. So you can see there's 3 amendments here. So staff have reached out for some clarification because again, the site plans are, I would say, are fairly vague in this respect, showing what the amendments are. So we are looking into what the use is of the CCANs on the site. We are looking for clarification of what building was removed, what year, as there may be a requirement for permits under the building code. And then again, just looking for that clarification of what that extension of the entrance and exit looks like. Again, having trouble understanding it as it's not sort of marked up on the site plans in a way that would be easily understood.
Questions from CA?
Just a question about you coming back to council with the information that you provided.
Through the chair, yes, we will.
Okay, all in favor? It's carried. 10.5. I get a mover and a seconder for that. Councilor going to move, second by Councilor Spoulos. This is our ERO proposed planning act changes, correct? Did you want to speak to it?
Yes, so through the chair, what you're seeing in your agenda package is staff's recommendation around supporting these changes. I do understand that I believe this bill has been tabled and maybe back in the fall. But again, this is a step in the direction I think that the municipality can support, as it's including zoning violations into administrative monetary penalties, so allowing municipalities to more efficiently deal with zoning violations as opposed to the current system under provincial offenses court.
Right.
So it's a support resolution for a provincial change, for a change. Yes.
Any questions?
No, I don't have a question.
Did I get there? Yes, can you move a seconder for that? Okay.
So it's a good move, finally something comes our way.
But we won't see, they won't be signing it until after the municipal election, right? This has been tabled and they're recessed.
It'll be the fall, I think, before we see.
Yeah,
Yes.
September.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, they're not coming back till after our election.
Oh, is that right?
So November, I think they're coming back till October
Okay.
27th.
Mhm.
But if the election day is this 26th, I believe they're sitting the 27th.
Okay,
So then, as the gears get moving, maybe see it November, hopefully. Anyways, either way, it's at least in the pipeline, hopefully it doesn't stall somewhere, so, okay, all in favor, it's carried. And then a mover and seconder, Councilor Goya, Councilor Spoulos for this correspondence from Wellington County. Right? Questions or comments? All in favor, it's carried. Council reports. We give an update on Tapman. Meeting again with Alyssa, right?
So through the chair, our marketing specialist, her work has been going really well. A big thing that she's launched just recently is an ERO program. So what she's doing is monitoring the ERO on a weekly basis, and any municipality that has any sort of an Aggregate Resources Act in happening that's been posted on the portal. She's reaching out to them to let them know sort of those initial steps that they can take to objection letter or whatever that may be. just to help spread that awareness around, the ARA process and how they can be involved. So, we're excited to see that could translate into more membership, but certainly just a heightened awareness across the province.
We're gonna talk more about, fall campaign, so, but, anyways, also Courtney and I met with CBM. Or representatives to just talk about, our car report submissions, compliance in general. We met for 2.5 hours. Our office here. It went very well. And agreed to have more meetings, and I did a follow-up email with them. We're gonna discuss some common points we can. Maybe come to an agreement on, which would be great, but they suggested quarterly meetings. With the election timing and things that. Sure, if we'll make quarterly, but we're gonna do our best to keep that engagement active. So I was happy it went very well. Stan Denhood joined us. On our side to talk about some concerns with the hydrogen in the area and the silt pond, so it went very well. Anything else?
They're from America.
Stephen, he's on handwriting. This is what,
Stephen May,
Stephen May.
Yeah.
Bill, can't remember his last name, he's the boss.
Andrea and Smart.
Andrea Smart and Paul was their hydro G, I don't recall his last name. Yeah, yeah. So he was new, that was the first time I had met him, I don't know if you had any interaction with him prior to that. So, good, well, it was good. Anything else? We're missing. Okay, so maybe we're secretary for those council reports, was Councillor Hurst. Back on duty. Shoot.
I don't know if this is council member reports or announcements, but either way, I just wanted to recognize the Optimists, 50th anniversary that they're celebrating. A celebration event last night, and just, I'm not sure if it makes sense on behalf of this council to write a letter to congratulate them for the 50th anniversary. And the many, many, many things they do for our community.
So with that, Courtney and I were in discussions, were approached to officially recognize them and provide some certificates, correct? So that was in the works as well, so maybe we can combine those two. We were supposed to talk about that today, but
Yes,
I think
for
it's
sure.
fine. Okay, so we were second to receive that, Councilor Hurst, Mrs. Lewis, favor. All right. Bylaws.
The following bylaws to be taken as read 3 times and finally passed in open council. Bylaw 2026-039 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 53/12 being a bylaw to authorize speed limits. Bylaw 2026-040 being a bylaw to establish a joint municipal election compliance audit committee. Bylaw 2026-041 being a bylaw to appoint members to the Wellington County Joint Municipal Election Compliance Audit Committee. Bylaw 2026-042 being a bylaw to adopt the community improvement project area for the corporation of the township of Whistler. Bylaw 2026-043 being a bylaw to adopt the supporting local business in Whistler township wide community improvement plan for the corporation of the township of Whistler. Bylaw 2026-044 being a bylaw to authorize the entering into a purchase and sale agreement for the purchase of the Whistler tract, the Grand River Conservation Authority, and bylaw 2026-046 being a bylaw to appoint a fire chief.
Great. Mover, please, Councilor, you're moving everything from reading the dream.
I
You recognize
completely
that.
understand that.
Council, second by Councilor Spillis, all in favor? It's carried. Any announcements? And then Councilor Gordon mentioned the 50th anniversary of the Optimus. What was the next event they said was coming? Was it Canada Day?
Yeah.
We'll have a meeting between now and then. Recycling is changing. June 18th, which is tomorrow, is the last day to request a smaller cart. Examples of them are in the front foyer. The big ones are quite large. So by default, you get the big one. If you want a smaller one, you have to submit by June 18th.
Is there any, like, I know I've seen a little bit of the county communication come out. I think most of it was through the township actually just pushing that out, but that's the question, do we feel it's adequately communicated to the residents? Like, inevitably, there's gonna be lots of people that are surprised by it, but
So not officially or unofficially, the responsibility lies with Circular Materials. They're running the program. It's their responsibility to communicate it. Recognizing that we will be held accountable if the communication is poor. The county has been trying to push out some, we've been trying to push out some, I've posted it on my Elect James Facebook page several times, because I know there's going to be people that are missing it. I hope the vast majority have heard about it. I think the proof will be in the pudding after they deliver them and we start hearing all the feedback, but the original deadline was last week. And they bumped it a week, right, which isn't a whole lot, 7 days. Anyhow, so Councillor Hurst, we've tried, I know, great stuff, pushing some stuff out, so. It's gonna be a change, it's gonna be some growing pains.
I sense it as a challenge, and ultimately it comes back to the municipality with the disgruntledness that inevitably will happen, and it's not anything municipality is
In control.
control of, yeah, so fair enough.
I put some sharp, also put an article out on that as well.
Yeah.
So, we're giving a lot of, side, mention.
So I think a lot of efforts have been made, so that's maybe a positive.
We tried, they aren't paid, but. Labor costs and injuries from the manual collection. They had, I don't even know if they received a bid for manual collection. Because the companies, they don't even want to entertain it. When we go to the arms, and obviously our old blue boxes, that doesn't work. So yeah, we're stuck with that. We're still dealing with the costs of the recycling program at the county. It's quite high. That's yet to be approved. I believe it's going to county council this month. So anyways, yeah, lots changing. So, any announcements from any of you folks? All right, business arising from the closed session. Seeing none, any notice of motion?
I do.
Councillor Brita.
I have a notice of motion listed on the agenda. I just wanted to note though that from the time that the agenda has been posted up until today, residents have raised some concerns about some potential cut through traffic on Bourne Drive. And I believe those concerns are legitimate and deserve some consideration. So I would like to amend the motion slightly. And I have to turn to staff because I'm not quite sure what the procedurally, what the mechanism is to do that.
Madam CEO says she can show it from the screen.
So through the chair, if council is in agreement, the amendments can be included in the minutes. And the notice can be provided in that way, and then the amended notice of motion can be discussed at the following meeting.
Okay.
So I can show on the screen, just for ease, because it is a longer motion, just what the changes are. They're noted with some track changes here. And just bear with me one second. You have the second one. I apologize because it's going to be small, but I will just zoom in on the changes here. And I just need to share my screen. Did you enable that for me? Yes. Okay. So from the top, the majority of the notice of motion is unchanged. And then you'll notice in blue has been struck through, and then additions are noted in red. You can zoom that in further if it's helpful.
One thing I would suggest is staff reach out to county staff and become familiar with the process that the county utilizes through the Roads Master Action Plan for intersection upgrades. Because we might have to steer towards that process when we do discuss this, please. Okay, that's good. No, there's
no mover seconder. It's just sort of listed.
New business. New business.
Mary, you mentioned that the Canada Day celebration by Optimus, we're not gonna have another council meeting before.
I did make note of them. No, just bearing in mind that they're,
But we won't.
yes, yeah, so it's included.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. Purgatory bylaw comes.
That the following bylaw be taken as read 3 times and finally passed it out for council. Bylaw 2026-045 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council for the corporation of the township of West Lynch. And this meeting held on the 17th day of June 2026.
Move it, please, Councillor Hurst. Councillor Willis. Favor? It's carried. Adjournment.
That council hereby adjourns at 4:49 p.m.
Councillor Hurst. Moved.
I know I'm.
That's good.
Yep.
All in favor. Carried. Thank you, everyone. See you at 7 o'clock.